So, hello, eighth graders. If you're watching this, then we are cruising through. We're not really cruising. Well, we're starting cruise. We're working on pages 138 to 139 in your books. So make sure you have those open, please. Okay, now in the slides, it'll go through the vocabulary, reach, and necessary. I would like to go over the learning targets. So let me go ahead and share my screen real quick. So learning targets on these two pages that we've, in the past, we've analyzed plot and then setting, then plot. These pages will be talking about word strategies that authors use to create a certain mood or tone in the story. And this author did that, okay? So I can analyze how the author's word choice affects the text meaning and tone, and I can identify important events in a text and cite evidence, okay? So then, of course, you can scroll through the next one on your own. That you do, just write that on paper, okay? And today's goal, of course, we're going to continue the lottery. We'll take a close look at the impact of words and phrases, and I'll let you read the rest of that, okay, on your own. So I want to scooch forward. That's on your own. Vocab, that's pretty straightforward. What I do want to do is go over the questions. Let me get to the key reading or the key idea question. So as you're listening to me read page 138, 20, and don't skim through those slides like I did. You can read those on your own, okay? I want to make sure we understand the question. So as you listen about the key idea question on page 139, be prepared to answer the key idea question after reading. So what do readers learn about the lottery in this part of the story? Okay, so let's get started. So page 138, please follow along with me. There was a great deal of fussing to be done before Mr. Summers declared the lottery open. There were lists to make up of heads of families, heads of households in each family, members of each household in each family. There was the proper swearing in of Mr. Summers by the postmaster as the official of the lottery. At one time, some people remembered there had been a recital of some sort performed by the official of the lottery, a perfunctory, I can never say that, perfunctory, tuneless chant that had been rattled off duly each year. Some people believed that the official of the lottery used to stand just so when he said or sang it. Others believed that he was supposed to walk among the people. But years and years ago, this part of the ritual had been allowed to lapse. There had been also a ritual salute, which the official of the lottery had had to use in addressing each person who came up to draw from the box. But this also changed with time, until now it was felt necessary only for the official to speak to each person approaching. Mr. Sum was very good at all this, in his clean white shirt and blue jeans, with one hand resting carelessly on the black box. He seemed very proper and important as he talked interminably to Mr. Graves and the Martins. Page 139. Just as Mr. Summers finally left off talking and turned to the assembled villagers, Mrs. Hutchinson came hurriedly along the path to the square, her sweater thrown over her shoulders and slid into place in the back of the crowd. Clean forgot what day it was, she said to Mrs. Delacroix, who stood next to her, and they both laughed softly. Thought my old man was out back stacking, Mrs. Hutchinson went on. And then I looked out the window and the kids were gone. And then I remembered it was the 27th and came a running. She dried her hands on her apron and Mrs. Delacroix said, "You're in time, though. They're still talking away up there." Mrs. Hutchinson craned her neck to see through the crowd and found her husband and children standing near the front. She tapped Mrs. Delacroix on the arm as a farewell and began to make her way through the crowd. The people separated good-humoredly to let her through. 2 or 3 people said, in voices just loud enough to be heard across the crowd, "Here comes your Mrs. Hutchinson." Bill, she made it after all. Mrs. Hutchinson's reached her husband, and Mr. Summers, who had been waiting, said cheerfully, "Thought we were going to have to get on without you, Tessie," Mrs. Hutchinson said, grinning. "Wouldn't have me leave my dishes in the sink now, would you, Joe?" And soft laughter ran through the crowd as people stirred back into position after Mrs. Hutchinson's arrival. Okay, so key idea, go ahead and write down What happens when Mr. Summers arrives with the black box and they give you, of course, your sentence prop? Readers learn that. Make sure you have punctuation at the end, please. Thank you. Okay, so let me stop sharing.